So before you go into this video, I just want to say my mic did not work on my phone. My phone is broken. The charging port is not working. I need to get a new phone. It charges fine, but for some reason when I try to plug in my microphone, it just does not work anymore. So I apologize for the audio being bad for this video, but I am holding my mic throughout this entire video. It does not work, okay? It's not working. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you enjoy this video. And yeah, let's get into it.
What's up, my little goblins? Welcome back to my channel. It's Remy. Are we shocked I took a couple weeks off? Are we shocked? Are we shocked? No, we're not, because I've been trying to get through A Court of Silver Flames and family stuff because it's the holidays, and I've been really lazy on my break from school. I haven't been really wanting to do anything. I feel like I am so burnt out from school, so I've just been sitting on my couch. But I have videos planned for the rest of December, don't you worry. It's only a week left, but I have videos prepared for the 31st and the 2nd. So this video and one more video will be coming out for the end of the year. And then we will start our 2025 goals on January 2nd. That is what you will see. I am filming those videos, so you will be seeing those. I want to do a seasonal TBR. And for all of you guys watching and you don't know what a seasonal TBR is, let me explain it to you. So, you know, the earth goes around the sun, tilts in its axis and makes our seasons, correct? Right, yes. So for the northern hemisphere, the first day of winter is December 21st. And everyone's like, well, really, it gets cold and it's the first day of winter in December because Christmas. No. The first day of Christmas, or the first day of winter, is December 21st, okay? So I have decided I'm going to start doing it in seasons. So the winter solstice is December 21st. That's the first day of winter. That's the first official day of winter. So from December 21st to March 20th is winter. And then I believe it's either March 20th or March 21st. Oh wait, no. It's the 21st or the 22nd in March, which is the spring, when spring starts. I should know these things, but I don't. This is not a new concept. I just decided I want to implement it because I don't read enough each month to be doing wrap-ups every month, especially because I'm in school and I just don't read that fast. So I'm doing seasonal TBRs. They're going in seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. See how seasons work, okay? And this is the winter TBR. Okay, let me shut up and show you books. None of these books are in any particular order, so here we go. The first book that's on the top of this deck, on the top of this pile I have over here is Wuthering Heights. Oh my god, I can see myself in the window. It's like a little viewfinder. Look, oh my god, I can see if I'm in frame or not. Didn't even realize that. If you can see me looking up, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, this is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. I read my first classic this year, which I didn't really realize was a classic until I started reading it, which is Carmilla. So this will be my second classic ever, and I'm really excited to get into this. It's in the winter season, so I feel like it'd be good for a winter TBR. So there's that. The next book I want to read is Curious Tides by Pascal Lascelles. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. It sounds French. Probably saying it wrong. But it's probably not even French, but who knows. This is a fantasy book. I thought it was a standalone. And I've said in multiple videos that this is a standalone. This is not a standalone. I found the second book in Barnes & Noble. Didn't get it because it's called Stranger Tides. This is Curious Tides. So, and I really love the cover, and the back has this really nice little like haiku on it, or a poem or whatever. And I thought it was really interesting. It's about this girl who has powers she's not supposed to have, because I guess she's women are only supposed to have healing powers, and she has like I guess I'm assuming it's like battle powers. She has like some kind of powers that she's not supposed to have as a woman or something. So she has to keep them in secret or like figure out how to use them. I can't remember. But I'm excited to read this. I'm excited to get the second book. The second book looks as gorgeous as this is red though, and it looks very cool, like orange red. Side note, I'm going to be starting a bunch of series this year. I want to film a video called starting a bunch of series. So I have a bunch of first books in series that I'm going to be reading, and in this winter I'm also going to be finishing some series. So there's going to be like ends of last books of series and also beginning of series. So anyway, that being said, I have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I bought this, I want to say when I bought this when I got ACOTAR, the first, like my ACOTAR box set, and I wanted to read this for so long. I've been putting it off for some reason. It's an enemies to lovers. I feel like the hype has died down around this book, which means now I can read it because I don't remember what the hype was about. And if you know me, I've said it so many times, I cannot read books or watch movies or shows or anything that's really hyped up because it's not going to meet my expectations and I'm going to hate it. I feel like if I go in it without any expectations at all, like I've seen this book on my bookshelf for so long, nobody really talks about it anymore. I forgot what even it's about. I just know it's enemies to lovers. It looks interesting. It's a duology. There's Vow of Thieves. So this will be a quick series to get through in 2025. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this, get this off my TBR, and then read the second one. So the next book I want to read is the fine print. Not like I didn't just read this by Lauren Asher. This is also really hyped up, but I don't know. Larry reads, that channel I watch. She's actually friends with this author, and me and Larry don't really have the same taste, but I love watching her videos. She's just so vibrant. Love you, Larry. Anyway, she made me want to read Lauren Asher. Like the first series that was really popular by her, like with Throttled and like the A1 racing thing or whatever. I could be F1, A1. Steak sauce, F1 racing. F1 racing. Anyway, that was not my cup of tea. A lot of people didn't really like that series. I didn't even try to read it because the things people were talking about, it was just, I knew I wasn't going to like it. But I feel like maybe I like this one. I also don't know why I thought it was so thick. I think when I first picked it up, I was like, oh my god, this is thick. And I guess it's thick for a romance. But I've been reading A Court of Silver Flames, and I've just had that giant book in my hands, so this just doesn't feel big anymore. So this is about Rowan and Zara, and there's like little, what I love about this book is every chapter, every other chapter, there's like this design or something, like of a roller coaster, and I'm assuming, it looks like he's an architect. I think he's an architect, and maybe he's architecting a roller coaster, I don't know. But it seems very interesting, and I'm very excited to read it, actually. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, so I can also read it on my phone. I'm so excited. I love when I can do that. Okay, so next on my Winter TBR is Twilight. I was going to read this in fall. I was going to read the whole series in fall, and make a whole thing about it like I'm doing with ACOTAR, like the vlogs and stuff, and then watch the movies and do a book versus movie. And I didn't get into that because I don't know. I mean, it's not that this book, I actually kind of like the writing in this book, and it's very different than what I remember from the movies, but I also, it's been so long since I watched the movies, but I actually kind of like Bella and Edward in this when I didn't really like them in the movie. But I'm trying to keep the movie out of my head because I don't really remember it that much, and I could be misleading myself, but I know that the movies might hit different after reading the books, so I'm excited. Also, this is my friend's copy, so I'm trying not to mess it up. And I got, how far did I get into this? I got 56 pages into this. I don't know if I'm probably just gonna restart the chapter I'm on when I pick this up again, but I deleted all the footage that I have from the reading vlog of me beginning to read this, so I might start it over. I don't know, we'll figure it out, we'll see. But there will be a lot of content coming from this series just because it's a very well-loved series. I've always wanted to read it. And You know, I think it'll be interesting. I also want to do the Shadow Me series next year. Let me know any other series that you would like me to do, you know, with the spoiler vlogs, because I really like doing those, but I want it to be a series that has already been, all the books are out so far. Like ACOTAR, as far as we knew, there were all the books, but then she recently just announced another book, so I didn't really know. But I would prefer to be a book, like a series that everybody has already read and it's been out for a long time, like Harry Potter or something. But this is next on the TBR. So give me your thoughts on other series you would like to see from me. The next book I want to read is Kristen Hanna's Magic Hour. This is like one of her smaller books that she has. I also have Firefly Lane in this stack of books that will come later. I do want to try and read new authors next year. My goal is to get out of my comfort zone and read new authors, because once I really like an author, I will buy their books and read just their books for so long. I did that with Kristen and Becca Ritchie, Christina Lauren, Emily Henry, who else did I do that with? Oh, Alicia Thompson. I did that with so many people's books, and a lot of my bookshelf is like these same authors, and I do want to try and extend my range, so I have some new books. I have some books that I got new for my birthday, that are in this video right here. Go and watch that video. That are on this TBR, because I feel like they're more of like a spring summer vibe. So anyway, I'm trying to read more authors. So Kristen Hanna is one of them. And this one is interesting. It's like paranormal literary fiction-esque. It's really interesting. It's like fantasy, but also literary fiction. It's very interesting. So the next book, I'm actually really excited to read, this Winter TBR thing-esque, and it's The Lovely War by Julie Berry. Who did I hear about this? Ashlyn, this booktuber Ashlyn, she was obsessed with this book, and I have only ever loved one historical fiction book ever in my life, and it is one of my favorite books of all time. And she was talking about how this is like about World War II, and it also is like a love story in a time of war told through a Greek goddess. So like, I love Greek gods, so it's told through Aphrodite. Aphrodite tells the readers this story of these lovers during a war, and I think that is so interesting, because like, the god is the narrator and actually gets to see everything, and I wonder if it's in third person because of that. And I'm actually so excited. I love the like war type of books, like Divine Rivals, for example. I haven't read that book, but I feel like I would like that book because it's like about a war and they're writing letters to each other, and they're also about gods. I feel like that would be super interesting. I love the war high risk love aspect of things, and I think this will be good. And if I like her writing, I'm probably gonna read some more of her books. If she's a historical fiction girly, then I might become a historical fiction girly. I don't know. The other historical fiction book I read is about World War II as well, so I don't know, I think I'll like this one. I'm very excited to read it. The next book I want to read, and it is long overdue, is Magnolia Parks. So when this book was going around getting popular, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was too scared to read it because I was like, I don't want to waste my time if I'm not going to like this. And it was so popular, and then it got traditionally published, and it got these covers. Everyone hates these covers, but I think these covers are so cute. They're so cute. Look at it. They have their little, I didn't know that they were like rich people. So, and people like to look up like Magnolia Parks fashion aesthetic, and she's like this really rich girly. And then when these books came out, it made so much sense. She's such a rich girly, and she has all these heels, and every book has different heels, and it's so cute. How could you not like this? I just don't understand. And I understand that the original covers have meaning and all this stuff and whatever, but honestly, I'm so real with you, they're ugly. They're ugly. I don't like the original covers. And if I love this series, I'm probably going to want the original covers. And it's going to be too late. But you know what? They were ugly, in my opinion. Yes, I was judging a book by its cover. So sorry. But by what people were saying, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it either. But then other people that normally don't like this type of toxic love romance were obsessed with it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll like it. I'll just read the first one, see what happens. And then because I was going to go read it on my phone before I bought the book, but then they took it off Kindle Unlimited. I guess because it got traditionally published. Bummer. So I had to get the physical book. And I could not stop thinking about getting this book. So I got it. So this book was in my birthday video that my boyfriend had bought me this book. And that was An Ember into the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. Again, probably saying that wrong. But I love this cover. I said it in my last video. I love this cover so much. I love the way that the chapters are and everything. And it's like a young adult not young adult romance. It's a young adult fantasy. I think I also said this in my last video, but I'm not really big into young adult romance, but I do really like young adult fantasy. So I'm excited to get into this. But I hope that it's not about Fae. I think I'm kind of burnt out on the Fae stuff, so I haven't really wanted to go towards any fantasy that has to do with Fae. I'm kind of over it. People have overdone it. I feel like ACOTAR was really good, but then people kept copying and pasting, and I just wasn't, I didn't want, when I heard another book come out that was like, oh, these are about, I don't care. I don't care about Fae anymore. Okay, I got one good series out of the Fae. I don't need another one. Because then I'm going to start comparing the series, and then I can see what they did the same, because they were obviously inspired by the series, and it's like, it just feels like a fanfic at that point. I'm just not into it. Anyway, hope this is not about Fae. I love this cover though, and I love that all of the books together are going to make a picture. Very excited for that. All the colors of the other covers I really love. The last book is purple. If you're new here, hi, I'm Remy. I love purple. So I'm very excited. I also started shaking with my left hand, so let's redo that. Hi, I'm Remy. I love purple. That's me. Books, purple, cats. That's my life. And Dr. Pepper. Anyway. Apprentice to the Villain. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? No. Again, I will be talking about all my favorite books of the year and stuff next video, but Assistant to the Villain was definitely, has to be my favorite book of the year. I cannot stop thinking about that book. Okay. I don't know if I said this in my last video or not. I was going to make a video called Annotate With Me, and I annotate Assistant to the Villain, the physical copy, because if you guys don't remember from this video, this video, I think it's going to come over here, this video, I read it on my phone because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, and I fell in love with it. I had so many annotations. So many. You know what Kindle Unlimited did? You know what? If you're on my TikTok, you know what Kindle Unlimited did. It deleted all of my annotations for that book. Every single one. It glitched while I was scrolling through, and they disappeared, and I wanted to cry. I did cry. I cried. I was so angry. It felt like I called my sister. I was so upset, and she was like, you can just read it and annotate it again. I was like, it's not the same. All the reader girlies will understand it's not the same. Like, those are all my thoughts and feelings when I first read it. I can never reread it again. I can never have that first moment of reading it again. Never again. I can't delete it from my brain and reread it. If I could, I would. If I could, I would. But I can't. So, I'm very upset about that book. I'm going to have to reread the last half, because I got literally halfway through and it deleted. I have to reread the last half and annotate the rest. But I'm so upset about that. Anyway, here's the second book. It's the only one that's out so far. So I'm going to be putting that into my continuing / finishing book series video. And this is what I'm going to be reading probably after A Court of Silver Flames, because I need a palate cleanse. I need a cute romance. I need high stakes cute romance. That's what I need. That's what this is. Funny, comedic, romance, fantasy. That's what I want. That's what I want. And that's what this is. Alright, so the next book I want to read is Kristen Hannah's Firefly Lane. I talked about that before. It's also a Netflix series. So I'm excited to read this and then watch the series. I might do a book versus movie video on that just because it's adapted into a show. I don't know if I want to do it on each episode, if I just want to watch the whole show and then do my own discussion about it. But basically this book is about friends, like these two girls that I guess their friendship throughout decades, throughout their entire lives. So I'm very excited because I love books like that. So I think it'll be good. I kind of messed up the cover. I'm kind of upset about it, but it's okay. It's gorgeous. And it is giving summer vibes, but it's like through their entire life. So I'm sure it's through multiple seasons. So whatever, it can be whatever season I want. Reading it. The next book I want to read is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I've heard so many good things about this book. I feel like this is one of the books I don't feel like is overhyped and I feel like I can get into without getting into my head about the hype. But basically, it's a dystopian novel on Mars. They're a colony on Mars and this guy, Darrow, is going to be taking down the government. I'm the government on this colony of Mars. So I'm excited. And then like the first 3 series, in my understanding, the first 3 books is the original trilogy, and that talks about, like, it shows him taking down said government, okay? And then the rest of the books, so there's like, I think 3 more books, and those books basically show how him taking down the government affected other ranks in society, because the Reds, in my understanding, the Reds are like the lowest level in society, and then there's the other ones. Red Rising on the TBR. Next book I want to read, we're not surprised, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I am so ready to get into this series. People say that this series is better than ACOTAR, and I really hope so. I really hope so. Not that ACOTAR is bad, but I just feel like the last book is starting to put a bad taste in my mouth. But I love the series. I love that series. I love it so much. Every other book annotated all the way through. The first 2 and then the other 2 are like somewhat annotated. This book I annotated some in the beginning, but I cannot speak. I annotated some of it in the beginning, but I really could not care less about annotating that book. I have it on 2 times speed when I'm on the audiobook. I don't think I've picked it up and physically read it since chapter like 20 something. So I think I'm really done with that book right now. I'm not enjoying it as much as I have the other books. Again, not saying the book is bad, just in my opinion, it's not been doing that well. Not good of a reaction as I'm getting like I did the other books. Anyway, The Assassin's Blade is next on the TBR. Next on the TBR. Yes, I will be starting Throne of Glass with The Assassin's Blade. First of all, Sarah J. Maas says we should do it that way. Second of all, a lot of people say that when you read this as 3rd in the series or 4th in the series, it brings down the momentum of the story. And when that happens, I stop reading. I'm telling you, if I get bored, I will stop reading. So, in order to keep myself from getting bored with this series, I will be reading the prequel first, because what is it? A prequel. Yes, good job. Prequel first, everything that's happening. I'm gonna read this first. Do not put hate in my comments. Like, I get comments anyway, but don't put hates in my comments about this, because I will be reading it how I want to. Read it how you want to. I'll be reading it how I want to. Okay. Next book. This one's very long overdue as well. That's God and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. I have been... Blood and Honey really, I think, broke my heart. It shattered my heart into a million pieces, and I just could not put it back together. I think I finished Blood and Honey at the beginning of last year. And it really just... Well, no, I think in the middle of last year. Anyway, it just broke my heart. And I have the audiobook for this as well. Also, not the big fan of the narrators of the audiobook. There's 2 separate narrators because it's in 2 separate point of views. And there's a female narrator and a male narrator, and male narrator does a lot of accents for the characters, and the female narrator doesn't. So I don't really know who's talking sometimes because they either don't give the same characters the same accents, or like, I don't know. It was just confusing when I was first listening to it. It's probably going to be confusing again because I haven't listened to it in so long. But I have the audiobook for this. I'm probably going to listen to most of this and then read some of it. But God, the last one really broke me, bro. And I don't even know what's going to be. I really hope it hasn't been too long and like I'm kind of done with this. But God, the ending was so sad. I'm starting to remember the ending, and it was so sad. Like, my jaw was on the floor. I was listening to the end of this while I was in the shower, and I'm telling you, my jaw unhinged on the floor. I could not believe what I was listening to. The end of that book broke me, okay? Not sobbing, crying broke me, but in shock broke me, okay? The last book on this TBR is Matthew Perry's The Big Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Sorry, I can never remember this. Oh my God, the back of this always gets me. It's a picture of him as a kid eating a rock. Anyway, again, if nobody knows who Matthew Perry is that's watching this, he would play Chandler on Friends. He was an actor, and he passed away last year. Was it last year? God, I still can't believe he passed away. But he was my favorite character on Friends. I loved him so much. I loved watching him in other films. He was in 17 Again. With Zac Efron. If any of you early 2000 movie buffs know what I'm talking about. I love Matthew Perry. He was so funny in Friends. He was my favorite character in Friends. I love Matthew Perry so much. And seeing his face on this cover. I've been putting off listening because I have the audiobook as well. And he narrates it. I've been putting off reading it and like listening to it because I know I'm going to cry because I literally wanted to buy this when it was out, and then he passed away, and then I was like, now I really have to buy it, and I was just, because he passed away literally shortly after he published this book, I want to say. Like, I remember, yeah, 2022. He published this book in 2022, and he was promoting it when he passed away. Like, he was, I remember seeing like videos of him talking about his memoir, and then like, I want to say a couple months later he passed away. I've talked about this so many times in my TBR videos, so I think I've put so many TBRs so many times, I just haven't. It's so hard for me to read this. Like, I feel like it's going to be so hard, but I feel like once I get through it, it's going to be good. I'm going to annotate it. There's pictures in here. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I don't know, like, I know actors, it's so weird because with actors and celebrities we have parasocial relationships with, like a lot of people I watch on YouTube or you guys watching me, and I don't know you, but you know me, and it's like this weird parasocial relationship, you know. And there has only been a few actors that have died that I've like been genuinely sad over, and Matthew Perry is one of them. Robin Williams, Cameron Boyce, and Matthew Perry have been 3 actors that have passed away that have genuinely made me sad. And God, I remember watching Friends after Robin Williams passed away, and it was the episode that Robin Williams was in, and I forgot he was in the show, and I was so happy and sad at the same time. And I have only watched Friends once since he passed away, mainly because I don't have access to the show. But it makes, honestly, when I watch Friends, it honestly makes me forget that he passed away. And I'm probably gonna do a reading vlog of me reading this. I'm gonna shut up talking about Matthew Perry now, but I'm gonna do a reading vlog of me reading this. Whew. Oh my God. So this is all the books on my TBR. Ah! Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna do a thumbnail really quick before all this falls. So that's my entire TBR. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You will see one more video from me on New Year's Eve, so go check that out, and go check out my last video for my birthday. You have a great week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things you know how to do, and I will see you New Year's Eve.